She called her family the nucleus, like the rest of us
And he's
didn't
like,
even
"Can she
matter.
just spend the night?" And I said,
That
"Yeah."
single
Truly
sentence
was super
shattered what was
excited.
left of the
She
illusion.
she thinks that
The
her and
illusion
Cody
that
have a great
Robin Brown
relationship,
ever
so
saw
it's
the other
great.
wives or their children as
Bye.
part of her family.
Love you. Bye
For years,
bye.
viewers have watched the cracks form in the Brown family's foundation. But what if those cracks weren't accidental? What if they were chiseled out deliberately, one quiet, manipulative decision at a time? That's the question haunting fans. Was this always Robin's plan? To come in, play the devoted outsider, earn Cody's devotion, and slowly, piece by piece, dismantle everything the other wives built over decades? Because now, years later, we're not just looking at a broken marriage, we're staring down the barrel of betrayal, not just romantic, but maternal. When Robin implied that Mary, Janelle, and Christine were in the wrong for wanting to be near their adult children, she didn't just pass judgment, she dismissed an entire generation of love and sacrifice. Welcome back to TLC Sister Wives Recap. I'm Sarah, and today we're pulling back the curtain on the biggest lie ever told in this family's story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you felt that gut punch when Robin suggested someone else's child was less important. Because this isn't just about sister wives. This is about mothers being shamed for loving their own children, and a man standing by, letting it all happen. When Robin first entered the Brown family, she came in smiling, soft spoken, and full of phrases like, "I just want to be part of the sisterhood." But behind those teary eyes and quiet words was a shift so powerful it would eventually tear apart everything the original three wives had built over nearly 2 decades. At first, it all looked sweet on the surface. Cody was smitten, completely captivated by Robin's emotional vulnerability, her constant tears, her repeated, "I don't want to cause problems" disclaimers. But while she was saying one thing, her presence was doing something else entirely. She wasn't blending into the family, she was reshaping it. Cody's attention slowly drifted away from Mary, Janelle, and Christine, and locked onto Robin, and she let him. In fact, she encouraged it. Robin often claimed she was just trying to help, but her kind words came with a price: emotional manipulation, layered with guilt trips and passive commentary. "I just wish everyone could get along," she'd say, while fully aware that her very arrival had thrown the entire sisterhood into chaos. And it got worse when the kids started leaving home. Suddenly, Christine and Janelle's love for their grown children, visiting them, supporting them, staying connected, was twisted by Robin into a moral failure. In one of the most jaw dropping moments, Robin blamed the collapse of the family on the other wives' changing priorities, saying they changed after spending more time with their adult kids. The implication that choosing to be near their children was selfish, let that sink in. The women who raised the majority of the Brown family's 18 children were being shamed for staying emotionally close to them. Meanwhile, Robin's own children were treated like they were the children of the family. She even referred to herself, Cody, and her kids as the nucleus, a word that floored fans and infuriated viewers. What about Logan? What about Madison, Mykelti, Garrison, Hunter, and Gabriel? What about all those kids who built that family long before Robin ever entered the picture? Robin wasn't just isolating Cody from his wives, she was isolating him from his other children. Her influence came cloaked in martyrdom. Every time someone confronted her, she'd cry, she'd act bewildered, she'd say things like, "I just want peace," or "I'm being misunderstood." But underneath that teary exterior was a consistent pattern: make herself look virtuous and subtly paint the other wives as disloyal or broken. Whether she meant to or not, Robin rewrote the family's story to center around her pain, her children, and her sacrifices, while the other wives' struggles were minimized, dismissed, or rewritten as personal failures. And Cody? He bought into it step by step. It was just one word, but it changed everything: nucleus. That's what Robin called her family. Not a part of the family, not one branch of the family tree, the nucleus, the center, the core. And with that, every other wife, every other child was pushed to the outer orbit. The word dropped like a bomb, casually slipped into a scene, as Robin listed off who she considers part of the main family. Cody, her kids, maybe one or two others if she was feeling generous, but not the original children. Not Logan, not Garrison, not Madison, not Hunter, not the kids who built this family's identity from the ground up. That wasn't just favoritism, that was erasure. Viewers immediately picked up on it. The show might have moved on, but fans didn't. That moment exposed a painful truth. Robyn sees her children as more important, and the message to the others? You were temporary. You're replaceable. Time and time again, we saw Robyn act surprised or even wounded when the older kids grew distant. But what did she expect? She rarely bonded with them. She didn't invest in their lives the way Christine, Janelle, and Mary did. Instead, Robyn built a protective bubble around her own household and called it the real family, leaving the others out in the cold. And then the rewriting began. Robyn started suggesting that all of the issues in the family were because the others changed. They weren't the same women anymore, that their closeness with their adult children pulled them away from Cody. But what she fails to acknowledge, or conveniently forgets, is that the family moved to Flagstaff for her son, not for the collective good. That decision tore other mothers away from their kids. So when they tried to stay connected, she painted them as selfish. Let's be honest, Robyn didn't want to be one wife among many. She wanted to be the wife. Her misunderstood victim act only works until you look at the pattern. Cody started spending less time with his other kids. His emotional availability shrank to one house. Decisions, big ones, like finances and family rules, started being made in private, in her home. And the family that used to hold meetings and share meals became strangers connected only by old wedding photos and a shared past. Even in confessionals, Robyn talks like an outsider, like someone watching it all fall apart but never truly part of the fallout. She speaks about the other wives, never with them. And when she tries to reminisce, it's always with this air of martyrdom, as if she sacrificed so much while everyone else just gave up. But the truth is, the family didn't drift. They were pushed. At this point, the mask has completely slipped. Cody Brown isn't just emotionally distant, he's emotionally negligent. And the worst part? He doesn't even try to hide it anymore. We've seen it over and over again. Mary, Janelle, and Christine bending over backwards to keep the peace, keep the family together, and keep Cody involved. And what did they get in return? A man who treated them like problems to be managed, not partners to be loved. Take the infamous list of expectations. Yes, you heard that right. Cody actually handed out a list, like he was conducting performance reviews at a job instead of maintaining a marriage. It outlined how they had to change. They had to fix their behavior if they wanted to earn a relationship with him. Not one mention of his own faults. Not one word about mutual effort. Just a power play dressed up as standards. And that was just the beginning. Let's talk about the ATV accident. When Robyn, his so-called sweet and shy wife, flew off the vehicle and hit the ground hard, his first reaction wasn't concern. It wasn't panic. It wasn't even sympathy. He laughed. While she lay on the ground in pain, asking him not to touch her helmet, he smirked and joked like it was slapstick. This wasn't a stranger. This was his legal wife. And still, no urgency. No care. Compare that to how he treats Robyn's emotional hangnails like national emergencies. He rearranges his world for her convenience. He moves heaven and earth to buy her a mansion. He bends every family rule to fit her comfort. When Robyn even hints at disappointment, he launches into damage control. But when the other wives cry, he shrugs, gets defensive, or walks away entirely. And then, of course, there's the wet bar. After years of ignoring Mary, emotionally and physically, Cody had the nerve to mock the wet bar she paid for herself during a real estate tour. He called it a mistake, a waste. As if Mary wasn't already carrying the weight of rejection from a man who publicly labeled her a friend, then insulted her taste on national television. And who could forget the moment he told her she'd have to drop those B's if she ever wanted to find a man again? Yes, he really said that. 20 years of loyalty, and she gets reduced to a punchline. He claims he values morality, claims he loves all his children. But where is that love when Gabriel's crying on camera? When Isabel needs spine surgery? When Janelle is left parking her RV on an empty lot, begging for support? It's all empty words, unless Robyn says it. Cody's loyalty is no longer to the family. It's to the version of family that makes him feel adored. And that version only exists in Robyn's house. Let's talk about Flagstaff, because that move wasn't just inconvenient, it was strategic. And not for the collective good. The Browns didn't move for opportunity. They moved for Robyn. More specifically, for her son to attend Northern Arizona University. The entire family uprooted their lives, leaving behind homes, stability, even their own children, to accommodate Robyn's needs. And here's the kicker. Some of the other moms, like Janelle and Christine, left their own adult children behind in Vegas to support that move. They sacrificed connection with their kids for Robyn's kid. And now she's judging them for staying close to those same children. It's the kind of hypocrisy that can't be explained away. It's financial, emotional, and deeply personal. Because once they landed in Flagstaff, Robyn got everything. While Janelle scrambled to park an RV on Coyote Pass and Christine quietly prepped to leave, Robyn moved into a massive house Cody moved heaven and earth to secure. And the financial favoritism didn't stop there. When it came to family money, Robyn was at the front of the line, especially with my sister wife's closet. Let's not pretend that failed jewelry venture wasn't a money pit. Robyn proudly claimed ownership over the business and even admitted she pushed Mary to drop her own college plans to help run it. That's right. Mary sacrificed her education dreams for a brand that eventually collapsed under poor planning and dollar store pendants. And yet, Robyn speaks about it like a noble effort, like they all participated equally. But the reality? Robyn got the support, the time, the resources. Everyone else just got the bill. And then there's Cody's reaction. During one real estate tour, he casually pointed to a pile of debris and said it was all from his failed businesses, like it was a joke. Christine, Janelle, and Mary struggled to keep their lives stable, while Cody was turning shared land into a junkyard for his busted-up projects. But who got blamed for the financial stress? Not him, not Robyn. It was always the wives not working hard enough or not staying united. Meanwhile, Robyn had the legal marriage, the mansion, and a business they all funded. But somehow, she's still the one acting like the victim? The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This wasn't just favoritism. It was financial manipulation wrapped in family values. While Robyn was busy weeping over the collapse of the family she helped unravel, Christine and Janelle were quietly building something real. Something Robyn never had and maybe never even understood. An authentic sisterhood born from shared pain and disillusionment. They didn't always see eye to eye. In fact, early seasons showed the tension, the distance. But over time, as Cody's favoritism deepened and the family structure crumbled, Christine and Janelle leaned on each other, not for show, but for survival. They didn't need stage scenes or performative breakdowns. They just showed up for themselves and for each other. When Christine made the brave decision to leave Cody, Janelle didn't stand in her way. She didn't guilt her. She supported her. And later, when it became clear that Cody had emotionally abandoned Janelle too, Christine returned that support tenfold. These were quiet, powerful acts of love, the kind that don't need a camera to be real. Robyn, on the other hand, delivered confessionals like a soap opera lead. Tears, long pauses, the ever-present line, "I just wanted a happy family." But the truth? Her sorrow isn't rooted in loss. It's rooted in exposure. Because now, without the plural marriage structure, Robyn is left asking the question she finally admitted out loud. I'm having an identity crisis. That moment was raw, but also revealing. Robyn didn't want to be one wife. She wanted to be the wife within a plural system. That identity gave her power, sympathy, and centrality. Now that the other wives are gone, she's no longer the favorite. She's just the only one. And it doesn't feel as good as she thought it would. That's why her repeated calls for reconciliation with Mary and Janelle ring hollow. It's not about rekindling love or healing wounds. It's about preserving the illusion. She needs the appearance of polygamy so that she doesn't have to admit what everyone else already sees. She won. But she lost everything in the process. Because now, as Christine thrives in Utah and Janelle stands strong on her own, Robyn is stuck in a narrative she can't fully control. She once maneuvered herself into Cody's heart and center. But now she's just sitting in a big empty house, clinging to a storyline that's crumbling. And maybe, deep down, she knows it. In the end, it wasn't just a marriage that collapsed, it was a legacy, a family built over decades, split down the middle. Christine, Janelle, Mary, and their children paid the highest emotional cost. They sacrificed stability, self worth, and sometimes even their children's needs just to keep the vision of one big, happy family alive. And what did they get? Silence, criticism, and worst of all, replacement. Robyn positioned herself as the peacekeeper, the loyal wife, the one who just wanted the family to stay together. But behind the tears and victim narrative was a pattern: emotional manipulation, selective involvement, and a desire to be the last woman standing. And Cody? He didn't just let it happen. He helped it happen. He turned his back on the women who stood by him for decades, emotionally distanced himself from their children, and handed out relationship ultimatums like performance reviews, all while protecting, defending, and enabling Robyn at everyone else's expense. So now we ask the question, was this always Robyn's plan? Was the collapse of the family the slow fallout of favoritism, or the result of something more calculated? We may never get a clear answer, but one thing's certain: somewhere between truth and TV, the real story is right there, in plain sight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sarah, and this is TLC Sister Wives Recap. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on all of this. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and never settle for less than the truth.